Okay, kids, remember we were doing this Amelia Bedilia bookworm story, and I had to stop my reading, and so I put in, remember they were talking about bookmarks in this story? I put a bookmark of my own. It's got a pretty little bird on it. I'll put that to the side. Okay, and now where we were was, did Sam... Mrs. Page asked Lisa if Sam enjoyed the book. He sure did, said Amelia Bedelia. Sam devoured it. Now, that's another expression, devouring a book. Have you ever devoured a book? Did you actually put it in your mouth and eat it up? Well, maybe you didn't. Maybe you put it in your mind and your mind just really enjoyed it. But Sam, as we know, is a dog who chews up everything. So I think that's what we mean when we say something literally happened. He literally chewed up the book. He literally devoured it. But the librarian doesn't know that. She probably thinks Sam's a person and his mind devoured it. So Lisa and maybe Amelia helping Lisa out will have to keep explaining. Wonderful, though, said Mrs. Page. We librarians love that. You do, said Amelia Bedilia. Oh, yes, said Mrs. Page, but it breaks my heart if a book is abused or lost. A missing book must be replaced. Of course, said Amelia Bedilia. Now you can see Mrs. Page is starting to roll the book cart, or she's going towards the book cart. You probably know that that's where books go to get put back on the shelf after they're returned and checked in at the library. Sometimes you may see a book sometimes book carts are used for other things like interlibrary loans. Ask your librarian what an interlibrary loan is. It's where if you don't see the book that you want at your library, sometimes they can get it from another library to lend to your library to lend to you. And so ask them how interlibrary loan works. A missing book must be replaced, though, said Mrs. Page. Rules are rules, said Mrs. Page. You have to go by the book. Go B-Y the book, not buy the book. But, right, said Amelia Bedelia, we have to go B-U-Y the book. You see, said Mrs. to replace the old book that got damaged or lost. You see, said Mrs. Page, lots of people depend on us, especially those who cannot visit the library. I mean, take our bookmobile. Take it where? An assistant interrupted her. Oh, Mrs. Page, the head librarian will be here in 20 minutes. Goodness, said Mrs. Page. She ran off to get ready. Well, do you think she actually ran? Like, when you're jogging, you run. Maybe she just, maybe ran off means she just went as fast as she could, like walking very fast, because you're not supposed to run in the library. Now, that is still a rule. You don't really run in most indoor places unless it's an indoor gym. Lisa, said Amelia Bedilia, Mrs. Page told us what to do. We need to go buy, B-U-Y, the book, and we can take the bookmobile. Huh? Well, she said, a lot of people depend on us, especially those who cannot visit the library. Take our bookmobile. Well, Amelia Bedilia, that left off the conversation, and so Amelia Bedilia thinks that it really means that they can take our bookmobile. And maybe Amelia Bedilia thinks that means she can drive the bookmobile. She's probably old enough to drive. Lisa isn't. She looks like she's well under 16. May I come too? Said Lisa. Sure, said Amelia Bedilia. Just ask your mother first. Here she comes, said Lisa. She was teaching an art class. And here comes Lisa's mom. Lisa's mom gave permission. May I ask a favor, said Amelia Bedilia. These children may still need help with bookmarks and reports. I'd be glad to help, Lisa's mom said. Thanks, said Amelia Bedilia. We'll be right back. Now, you can volunteer to help with things like bookmarks, making bookmarks at your library, or, grown-ups can help volunteer, and you can maybe when you're older kids. Helping with book reports, that's something that the librarian or maybe a highly trained library staff person like this man might help with. it's something that they get paid to do. So Lisa and Amelia Bedilia are off in the bookmobile. I love this bookmobile, said Lisa. Me too, said Amelia Bedilia. Let's pretend we have checked out all these books for ourselves. Lucky us, said Lisa. Boy, kids, I have so many books, and I like to check out more books from the library. I have this big pile of library books right here that I need to return, and that's just part of my pile. I have to remember that I can always check them out again. It was nice of Mrs. Page to loan us the bookmobile, said Lisa. It was all her idea, said Amelia Bedilia. Stay here, Sam, said Lisa. Who's Sam? Sam's on the bookmobile, Sam the dog. And stay away from the books. Don't eat those books on the bookmobile. I found the book, said Amelia Bedilia. Where are they going? Bookshop. Well, this was written 20 years ago, kids. They didn't have Amazon really big yet to deliver books to you, but nowadays, even though there's Amazon, there are still bookshops you can go to, and I like doing that because I like to support small businesses so that they can be right there in your town, keeping your town interesting with all their interesting, when you have interesting things like bookshops. If you're lucky enough to have one right in your town, go support it. Anyway, they're at the bookshop inside. I found the book, said Amelia Bedilia. Good work, said Lisa. Guess what I found? A thesaurus. Where is it? Said Amelia Bedilia. Right behind you, said Lisa. Well, Amelia Bedilia and Lisa, do they know that are they still thinking a thesaurus is a dinosaur? Let's turn the page. Every page has a surprise in this book. One, hi, said Amelia Bedilia. Lisa laughed out loud. Come back, she said. A thesaurus is not a dinosaur after all. Jeepers, said Amelia Bedilia. Look at all these words. I can find just the right one to use. A man walked up to them. I am the manager of this store. What is the ruckus all about? Ruckus, said Amelia Bedilia. I like that word. Let's look it up. I would love to use it in a story. Aha, said the manager. Follow me. You are late. I am, said Amelia Bedilia. Late for what? He led them straight to the children's section of the bookstore. He said, I like your costume. I have never met a storyteller who dresses like a housekeeper, and like an old-fashioned housekeeper, too. Remember, I told you, kids, most housekeepers, cleaning people don't dress in these dresses and aprons like that anymore. They just wear something that they can launder easily. Lisa laughed. Amelia Bedilia did not laugh. She did not want to disappoint the manager or the children at the story time where it says storyteller today. Amelia Bedilia told a terrific story about dinosaurs attacking the library, and look who's in the story. Well, some dinosaurs, some library books, that's what's in the story. But look who is in the story. Does that look like Mrs. Page? Oh, she's got a sword and shield. Mrs. Page, the brave librarian, saved every book from being chomped. I hope she didn't actually have to stick the sword into any living thing, creature, or person. I hope she just used it to scare them off. I'd be scared. I'd run away, probably. All in all, it was quite a ruckus, said Amelia Bedilia. I bet those dinosaurs, are they getting ready to chomp, or are they getting ready to run away? Their mouths open and looking like that. Is that a scared dinosaur look or a hungry dinosaur look? Or a little both? And what about the other dinosaurs? I'll let you decide. You can decide either way. It could be somewhere in between. You are great, said the children. You are talented, said the manager. Whoops, you are in trouble, said a police officer. Uh-oh. What's wrong, said the manager. There must be some mistake. There sure is, said the officer. This lady took that bookmobile. I sure did, said Amelia Bedilia. Mrs. Page told me to. Remember, she said, libraries are very important. Take our bookmobile. Now, you have to understand fully what somebody means when they talk. This just goes to show you probably won't get in trouble with the police, but it's a good idea to make sure you understand what people mean. It's just always a good idea. Don't worry, said the officer. They won't throw the book at you. Ha ha. I hope not, said Amelia Bedelia. I just bought it. See? The officer smiled. I will trust you to drive back to the library, she said. But do you kids think she might follow behind Amelia Bedelia and driving the bookmobile? Maybe the police lady will follow behind in her police car? She just might. Make sure that Amelia Bedelia will be as good as her word. They returned the bookmobile because Amelia Bedelia really is a good, honest person, and so is Lisa. I wonder if Mrs. Page is upset, said Amelia Bedelia. Why would she be upset, said Lisa. We bought the book. Mrs. Page was not smiling. Neither was the woman standing beside her. Who might this woman be? I owe you an apology, said Amelia Bedelia. Sam had ruined a book. You said go buy the book, so we borrowed the bookmobile and bought the book. Ooh. By the way, Mrs. Page is kind of funny, don't you think? Mrs. Page is the librarian's name. These are pages. They have page numbers, like this is page 47. We've read a lot so far. Who is the lady standing behind her? I'll let you see if you remember what was going on in the story, so you can figure out who the lady is standing beside her. Oh dear, said Mrs. Page, what happened to our book? Were the pages torn or just dog-eared? Ask Sam, said Amelia Bedelia. He's still digesting it. Well, some people use the phrase digest a book or digest something that you've heard or read about, something that you have to think about, to mean that you have to think it over. It doesn't, so usually it means that it's getting, usually when the word digest is digesting food in your stomach is making those digesting noises. But no, digesting can sometimes also mean something that your mind is digesting, something that you're thinking about. So you have to know from context. Remember, context. Hey there, welcome back, said Lisa's mom. Oh, I wonder if she was worried about Lisa and the dog. I know some other creatures would like to say hello. Arg! I am the word-eating thesaurus. If you need a better word, look inside me. Now, don't open up the kid to look inside him. Look inside the thesaurus, the book. It looks in Amelia Bedelia's thesaurus and Lisa's thesaurus that they're bringing back to and now it's going to be the library's thesaurus. It looks like this. It looks like a book. This one happens to be red. So red, the color red. And I hope the red book will get read, R-E-A-D. I am the word-eating thesaurus. If you need a better word, look inside me. I am the flying periodical. I buzz by every week. Some things like newspapers and magazines or websites or blogs come out once a week. Others come out once a month, once a day, once every few months, but they come out at regular periods, so they are called the periodicals. And I think it's true with online things that come out pretty regularly, as well as print things. Now that there are more and more online things. Munch! I am the giant prehistoric bookworm. If I had a nose, it would be in a book. Well, he doesn't have a nose, but maybe that looks, I don't know. Do you think that might look like what a worm's head and face might look like? I don't know. But you can go to the library and look up a book about worms. You can go online with grown-ups' supervision, another dictionary word. Look up what bookworms' faces, or look up what worms' faces look like, because there isn't such a thing as a real bookworm, but this is a picture of an imaginary worm. That a bookworm is just an imaginary worm. Bookworm, what do you think the phrase bookworm really means? Maybe it means a person who likes books. I mean, who reads books the most? People. Dogs can eat books. Dogs can't read. I've never heard of a dog who can read. Only people can read. So I think if I had a nose, it would be in a book. Sort of like my nose isn't really in this book, but, I don't know. I can't really. I'll have to turn this around to show you my nose. All right, there's my nose. Okay, now I'm putting my nose, well, near the book, but I'm not going to put it in the book. I mean, that's not sanitary, just you don't put your nose right into things. It's an expression. It means I'm looking at the book really, really closely, and this is kind of hard. Anyway, have you ever looked really, really closely at a book? Well, that's another idea for a bookworm face. Maybe that's this kid's idea. Well, look at all these cool faces. I think the kids really had a chance to do quite a craft. I don't know if that was something they planned in advance, like before today, the day that the book in which the story takes place that we're reading, or if they really just kind of made this all up right during the time Amelia Bedilia and Lisa were gone. Now, the woman who had not smiled was now laughing. "You are all amazing," she said. "I have been the head librarian for 20 years, but I have never seen children have such fun with books." Well, they can be fun. You can do something like that. Maybe ask your librarian if you can make I don't know, masks, not like those face masks you've probably been wearing for a long time now, but like masks that you wear for like Halloween, and have them look like different characters in a book, like the head librarian is a character in this book. You could have them look like people, you could have them look like funny people, you could have them look like you could have like clowns or like kids like that, or you could have a grown-up's face. Don't make fun of people, don't make fun of your head librarian, but you could have the face be something like a dinosaur. Whoopsie. Well, where was it? You could have something like that. You could do something creative, have a dinosaur mask, a bird, or I guess this would be a worm face. "Lisa's mom helped everyone," said Amelia Bedilia. "Oh, right. Remember, Lisa's mom was the art teacher. So you are the head librarian. I have heard all about you. You are the know-it-all who has been around forever." Oh, goodness. Mrs. Page was about to faint. The woman laughed and said, "I guess I am a dinosaur." Well, not really, but she's been around for a long time, so I think is being used as an expression. "Let's check," said Amelia Bedilia. "Is your last name Thesaurus?" "No," she said, "it is Kramer." "I am sorry," said Amelia Bedilia, "you cannot be a dinosaur." What a relief, said Mrs. Kramer. Oh, Mrs. Page still looks worried because she doesn't want to get in trouble with her boss. Why would she get in trouble with her boss, Mrs. Kramer here? Because maybe Amelia Bedilia is telling that Mrs. Page said that Mrs. Kramer had been around forever. Mrs. Kramer's laughing, so maybe it'll be all right for Mrs. Page. "There is a big parade next week," said Mrs. Kramer. "Would you all march for the library? Yippee! Hooray!" On the day of the parade, Amelia Bedilia stopped by the library. "Amelia Bedilia," said Mrs. Page, "I am glad to see you. Come see what Mark made for you." Amelia Bedilia looked up at the ceiling. "Is that a mobile?" "What's at the end of the mobile?" "That's a very special mobile. It's got books and a book mobile." Mobile's another word, I guess, that has two different meanings. A lot of those words. It is a bookmobile, but not a one you can actually drive. "But it's a bookmobile," said Mrs. Page. "How sweet," said Amelia Bedilia. "Just remember," said Mrs. Page, "you can borrow the books, but not the bookmobile." They laughed. Then they went out together to watch the parade, and here it is. And I told you all about this parade at the beginning of the book before I read you the story. So I'm not sure if there's going to be something real festive like that in your Memorial Day parade. Memorial Day is kind of a solemn day, although you probably have fun picnicking and barbecuing. It is a solemn holiday. I told you about Memorial Day. The 4th of July is a really happy, festive holiday, and it will come up soon. It may not seem soon, but it'll come up fairly soon. It's probably the next big holiday for many of us after Memorial Day. And a lot of your towns will have parades. Maybe your library will be having something like costumes or something, people walking in the parade for the library. Maybe with something that says read a book or visit the library, because there's a lot, find out all the library has to offer is really how it is. And this has been, let's see, I think my library puts it as a beginning reader book. I think, or maybe it's a picture book. Doesn't say anything about beginning reader. I thought it was a beginning reader. Some Amelia Bedilia books are beginning readers. Anyway, if you are working on your reading, it is a pretty long book, so you may be able to use it for your summer reading program as one of the books. It's got 63 pages. It's got plenty of words. If you're, it kind of depends on how old you are and how well you read. Have your grown-up who takes care of you, mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, whoever is the responsible adult, have them talk to the librarian. If you read better than most kids your age, then you need something, then you might need something harder. If you are just beginning to read, no matter what your age, you might need something with less words a page. It doesn't matter. It's okay. Just read, do your best reading, and be honest about it for the summer reading program, and then you tend to get lots of prizes. I don't know what kind of prizes you'll get. Now, you might get something like, I don't know, an art kit so you can make your own mask might possibly be something that you might get. I can't guarantee. You probably won't get your own vehicle to drive, but you might get something like a mobile of some kind. That's possible. There are lots of possibilities. I don't know, when I was a librarian, I used to give out things like beach balls. Well, the kids had to blow them up at home. I used to, if you really read a lot of books, you could get a tote bag with I would say something about the summer reading program and look really pretty. Anyway, lots of books about Amelia Bedilia, and you can check them out of your library. Just go there and use either your library card or your grown-up's library card, or possibly a friend's library card, in which case be extra careful. Don't get your books chewed up by dogs or falling off the book cart or anything else. Now we know a little more about libraries and books, and there is a lot of fun stuff that goes on at every public library, and not just books, but the crafts. You can have programs like summer reading program. Go check out your library. Do it before the summer. Go and take a tour of your library if you haven't already. And if you have already, go take another tour and find some new books that you like. And if you're still in school, you may still have homework, so your library can help with that too. They don't give you the answers, but they teach you how to think for yourself, just like, well, school does too, but you have to go to school. Library is not a place you have to go to, but it's a place you should. All right, signing off. Go have fun. Find a book about something you enjoy, or find maybe a website that helps you think for yourself and maybe is about something you enjoy, or a periodical, something that comes out print or online once in a while. Remember the flying periodical? They don't actually fly, but there's maybe you like a period, like a magazine or a website that comes out every so often about, say, birds or something, or dogs. I don't know. Or tennis shoes, or whatever. Well, have fun, kids. I'll see you next time.